Hello, Internet. Welcome to
Hey.
ScreamFriends with me and Andy. Hi, Andy.
Hey, I'm Andy. How's it going, Kelsey? You ready to get scared?
Maybe.
Ooh.
Are your lights out?
Uh, no.
Mine either.
Watching.
Because
I'm gonna do that.
okay, I'm really comfy and I have a blanket on and I don't really want to move. So,
I'm covered in fake blood. I'm
Andy,
covered in blood right now.
why?
I was doing a makeup test because it's for Halloween, so I'm
Oh,
covered in blood
nice.
and fake bruises and latex and I'm
What's your
if
costume? Unless
my
it's a secret.
costume
Unless it's
my
a secret.
costume is just looking really jacked up. I
Oh,
don't really
okay.
have a costume.
All right.
I
All
might
right.
just I might just turn it into a dumb Andrew WK thing because I put blood on a white t-shirt
Uh
and I
huh.
just was like, wait, this looks like an Andrew WK thing. So if I don't want to do the effort
He's having a contest.
tomorrow,
You can send in your costume of him and win
man,
tickets to a concert or merchandise or something.
I should do that then.
Do it.
But I
I,
spent like 35 bucks on like the liquid latex and this makeup, and so
oh,
I want to try and
nice.
do something with it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna play Marginalia. Um, Due to a series of unfortunate events, we almost didn't have a spooky game tonight. So I was like, ah, and then none of
The
this.
scariest thing of all, scheduling.
And then none of the stream friends seemed to be around, so I was like, "Hey, Andy, you want to stream with me, please?" Because I
Yeah,
don't want to do
no,
this by myself. So here we are. Thank you for joining me, Andy. I appreciate it.
no problem. I'm always down to clown around.
Yay. Okay. Um, Tolbo, there are no pop scares. Um, I am gonna warn there is flashing lights at the end, but I will warn well before that happens. So let's get going.
So you've played through this before, but I know absolutely
Told the
nothing about
story
this
very
game.
long.
Okay.
You'll have to forgive me if I have trouble keeping it straight.
Okay. And let me know if it's too dark. I don't really know what I can do for you, but that first scene is dark, I know, but it'll lighten up in a second.
Let's know if it's too dark, and I can tell you to suck it up. I'm the enforcer tonight.
Okay, that looks fine on stream. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it looks good to me too. This looks like a Unity game, maybe?
It is. Yep.
Okay.
Um,
Unity's the new source engine, man.
I
Everyone's
know.
using that
It's
stuff.
it's really nice when you see that little cube.
Eric had left in the night 6 weeks before. I started awake when he rolled out of bed before dawn, but I drifted back to sleep immediately. When I woke up, I was covered in dew. I looked out the open window to see the sun breaking over the horizon. The automobile was gone, so I showered, got dressed, and caught the bus to work.
So that's basically how the story is going to be told. Just our narrator, us,
Okay.
telling the story. Like every time we get to a certain, the lights, and we only have this flashlight.
Are there subtitles for this?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay.
Are you able to hear it? Okay.
No, I'm able to hear it. I
Okay.
just figured because I know sometimes people prefer that.
Yeah.
And he's a little mumbly, but I can make most of it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I always put subtitles on when I play stuff, and there weren't any
Yeah.
for this. So.
Hey, you guys making s'mores over
He
there?
used to tell me about a recurring dream.
Oh, it's on a
he would have.
campfire.
A figure stood on a hilltop far away. He could see it beckoning for him. Are you sure it's you they want every time? I asked once, and he sighed. It's either me or someone standing directly behind me. Is that better or worse?
It's very windy here. Ooh.
Is that just Oh, okay, I thought it was just smoke on the ground, but
No.
it looks like it's coming out of the thing.
Yeah, it's like a little. It's either a torch or a pipe.
Yeah. Mario Brothers have been here. They're leaving pipes everywhere. It's weird. I think it's probably just a thing with the engine, but the flashlight doesn't cast light on them, on the thing sticking out of the ground there.
Yeah.
Eric devoted more than 10
kinda
pages
creepy.
to a cobbled together
Yeah.
story that he referred to as the parable. It was impossible for me to follow his references and sources, but it appeared to be an origin myth for a pan-European coven of witches that had disappeared before anyone even thought about settling Kestlebrook.
Tolvo says these forest bongs are suspicious.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Please, listen to Minor Threat. Stay straight edge forever.
I've never done a drug.
High five, cool kids,
Woo!
straight edge club. Dare, it works.
Well, I am a drunk, so no, not really.
I watched that Yogg stream.
I was not drunk. So Han,
I-
Dre were
I saw
drunk.
that.
I just popped in and was like,
Yeah,
hey.
but when you associate with those unsavory characters, I'm watching you.
I'm hoping I don't get as lost as I did when I played this yesterday. I think it'll.
It seems like it'd be easy to get lost. There's not a lot of landmarks other than those like little torch things.
Nope.
Everything else looks really similar.
Luckily, we have this path. But
Yeah.
yeah, the trees and stuff are very much the same, which is eerie.
So I've been playing a lot of Fantasy Life, so all I'm thinking right now is, man, I need to cut these trees down so I can
I was sitting at my
chairs.
kitchen table across from an empty chair when the doorbell rang.
Cheers.
Surprised, I dropped my coffee cup and it shattered on the floor. I stepped over it quickly, closing the distance between myself and the door. And when I threw it open, I expected Eric to be there. Instead, there was a delivery boy with a letter. I read it to myself, moving my lips to cement it in my memory. It was a short missive. Come to me, I've found it. The return address read Kestlebrook. I bought the train ticket that afternoon.
Creepy. Who doesn't sign their letters?
Yeah. I mean, I even sign my letters, and I have horrible handwriting, so it's not really, like... Put in some effort, male dude. Come on. So I did have another idea for a Halloween costume. If I could find, I wanted to find black contacts and then just do fake blood underneath my eyes and go as a creepypasta character for Halloween.
Oh god.
Black eyes and hyper realistic blood. It's in every single creepypasta.
Uh-huh. It's effective though. Like just thinking about it made me
I
shiver.
shattered the lock of Eric's desk drawer 5 days after he left. I never really cared about what he kept in there, but his absence had driven me to find any remnant I could. I found some of his notebooks. He always scribbled constantly, filling volume after volume without telling me what he's actually working on. Once every few months I would ask him about it. He would smile beautifully before changing the goddamn subject. Sometimes he would refer to it as history in casual conversations, never truly elaborating. It was strange at first, but it became our rhythm, some sort of untold secret. So I ignored whatever was in that desk, until that hammer drove it open.
Going through his boyfriend's stuff.
True Arvon says, even serial killers sign their letters. And for some reason, serial killers are coming up a lot with things that I'm like into lately.
Uh-huh.
Like I watched the Chris Gethard show, and last night all they did was talk about serial killers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They brought
So
up
it's
some.
just like
They
been
brought.
on my mind all
Yeah.
day.
They brought up some in my 5-hour course yesterday, and I knew who they were. Like, he's like, "Who knows Sam Berkowitz?" I'm like, "Son of Sam." And then everyone looked at me
Yeah.
weird. I'm like, listen, just because you didn't watch a whole lot of true crime shows as a kid.
Yeah, come on. Serial killers are super interesting. I know way too much about Zodiac than at least I know more than people who don't at least look into it do. The whole like ciphers
I read
thing
the
is really
notebooks
interesting.
on the train. His handwriting traced out the contours of the page, curving with the once wet paper in a way that made it seem like he had summoned the words from the sheets themselves. It was organized like an encyclopedia, and each entry told the story of another arcane or banal place, object, or person. Here was a record of the families who had lived on a single acre of land in the north of France. There was an oral history of a Turkish city. There were 10 pages on a pitchfork that changed hands during strange moments of history. The text refused to cohere for me, and I wonder why Eric had put it all together.
So wait, am I following this right? Eric is his
Boyfriend. Yep.
roommate? Okay.
Well, that's what I'm assuming because they were sleeping in the same bed together and they lived together.
Okay.
But I mean,
And he did describe his smile as beautiful.
that's true. Yeah. So using
Oh,
context clues, yes.
All right.
So they lived together, and all of a sudden one day Eric got up and left.
Aw.
Took the car.
Eric put on his cell phone suit
Yeah.
and left.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. And he moved to Pumpkin Patch. Is that what we're calling? Is that what it's called?
One of the
I can't
journals
remember.
Eric
Yeah, I think so.
was devoted to Kestlebrook itself. The town the train delivered me to was not the first Kestlebrook, and the maps Eric had drawn in the journal showed me that the name derived from a small valley a few miles away. At the turn of the last century, the Kessler family had struck out from nearby Allenburg because of religious persecution, although Eric's notes were pretty unclear about what that really meant. The family of 8 built their cabin and barn in the spring of 1815. A year later, only 5 remained, and the next winter spared only the
Might have to fix it.
matriarch,
Oh,
Simon
no.
Kessler. A trader who had passed through during the summer of 1817 was apparently the last to report seeing her alive.
It's creepy. You should, if you have a excuse me, if you have a
Take the horror. Test.
Okay, I was gonna say because
I think it was a solitary hiccup.
if you have
That does happen to me sometimes.
I was gonna say if you had a sugar packet, just dissolve it on your tongue and that gets rid of them.
Oh, yeah, let me just take the sugar packet that I keep. What?
I don't know. I don't know what your coffee situation is.
I don't drink coffee.
Me neither.
Yeah. You and me, Kelsey. We got this stuff figured out.
We do.
This is just these like empty like small buildings here are really reminding me of Old Town and Eidolon a little bit.
I still haven't
A
played
little more
that.
spaced out.
I don't know. I don't actually know if they're buildings or I think they're just rocks.
They look. Oh, okay. They're kind of shaped like the houses, and that's why. It
Oh,
was
they
giving me
definitely
that.
are. Yeah, like
That's why it was giving me that vibe, and that actually getting there, the music there made that one of the most like unsettling things I've played, like all year.
Mhm.
That game's really good.
I'm excited to play it.
It's super fun.
When Irene emerged from the shadow of the mountain, the sun knew. When Timuk was dredged from the depths, the sun knew. The sun watched their plotting and waited for the moment when its action would be the most useful. As Timuk crossed out from under the shade of a tree, the sun shouted out into the world. A searing beam pierced the young woman. She fell to the ground dead. Having done the deed that the sea could not, the sun retreated from the sisters. Irene was left to mourn alone.
I really like that this. A lot of the time, I find a lot of horror games like to confine you into places.
Uh-huh.
I really like how this is just like, no, you're out in the open, and it kind of makes it more effective.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I played this yesterday and I'm still tense. Um,
Yeah.
because, I mean, I don't know what's anywhere around here. There's so much, like,
Yeah, like they focus more on
like,
the. I mean, it looks like there's a face in the sky.
yeah.
Like, okay, you see, it looks like Oogie Boogie. See on the like kind
Oh,
of left there.
yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe I'm looking at a face that I see, but yeah.
I on the left where it's kind of like a pointy thing.
Okay.
Top. I don't know. I kind of see it. It's like you have to turn your head.
Yeah, I see that one. I also see like
Yeah.
in the middle, like Gonzo maybe from the Muppets.
Yeah, I kind of see that too.
With wacky hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Party Gonzo. Bro Gonzo.
Bro Gonzo.
The Kessler's barn blew down sometime during the record-setting storms of 1816, but no one knows when the cabin burned. A hunter named John Rambo entered the clearing in the fall of 1820 to find a rotting foundation in a scorched ruin. There was no sign of Eileen Kessler. He picked through the wreckage and found nothing. No clothing, no possessions, and nothing of value. There was only a clean, burned void in the middle of an empty field. Eric noted that Rambo's journal, housed in the Halloran University Library, contained a short account of his journey. The hunter wrote that he felt as if someone was peering at him, somewhere from the surrounding hills, and had the urge to leave as fast as possible.
Okay,
A marginal note
bye.
from Eric explained that this is the last entry in Rambo's journal.
I'm leaving.
See ya. You can just have this field.
I'm
No
gonna,
big deal.
I'm gonna go now.
I
I really
was just gonna help you mow your giant lawn. Whatever.
I know, like, who builds a cabin in the... there's no... I mean, there might have been fields at one point, but oh my god, that's so
They
isolated.
like their space.
I guess.
Yeah.
I really like the fireflies, too. Hey.
Yeah, it's a nice little effect.
Yeah, hey.
So I do like that there was a guy named John Rambo mentioned in the narration. I was like, that's a weird little reference to throw into your horror game, but alright, I'm into it.
No one settled in the Kestlebrook region for 50 years after the last Kessler disappeared. Erwin Pallardine's A History of the Lowland Peoples, written in 1855, has a one-paragraph entry on Kestlebrook. It ends with this sentence: "Stories abound of howling and lights in the distance during the night. Not a single soul I spoke to claimed to have traveled into the valley during the past 25 years."
Hmm. We're here now. And Eric, presumably, was here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
you're wrong, journal. Suck it. Did it just like suddenly become winter?
Yeah, it got
That-
really barren in this patch o' woods.
Patch O Woods TM. Trademark
Yeah.
of the Cameron Cunzelman Corp.
But yeah, this
And
is...
I thought I saw snow on the ground, but it's like dead ground.
Yeah,
The
it's...
town of Kestlebrook was
dirt.
dead when my train pulled into the station. The porter told me I'd best find a room for the night. I explained that I wasn't really there on vacation or business, and that I needed to find my way to the real Kestlebrook. I needed to make my way to the secluded glen where I hoped to find Eric. But in retrospect, I knew I should have waited through the night. I was compelled. There's something about the moon, maybe, or in the night air. I was so close. Porter drew a map for me on the back of a brochure, and smudged pencil, and he showed me where to turn from the main road onto a dirt road and where to leave the road entirely. I left the streetlights behind me and traveled into the dark.
Oh god, The movement of those branches is so creepy.
Yeah, they just jiggle. Just dancing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo. They're those those inflatable tube men.
Yes.
But creepy trees.
Are you not scaring your customers away? Get our inflatable tree man.
Let us jiggle at you.
Eric's parents died several years before he disappeared. Their home caught fire just as the sun was going down. He told me that the fire engines had passed him as he was walking home. It was only when he rounded the corner that he saw the plume of smoke blotting out the newly risen moon.
It's like a little red thing down there. You see that?
Oh yeah, kinda. Like a couple pixels of red.
Yeah. That's weird. Wow.
Light or something.
It's red down there too.
Maybe it's maybe we were down there earlier. Maybe it's a torch from that we saw before.
Oh yeah, that could be.
Like, it looks like it's coming from a light source. It's not like
Yeah.
the color of the trees.
Somebody mentioned this constant humming is very creepy. I agree.
Yeah, it's really good sound design.
Like, it's just like a whooshing of stuff through trees and creepiness.
You know, it's just the droning
Yeah.
single note.
Oh, there's a couple more notes.
Yeah, the second I say that, they're like, yeah? You think you seen something? Guess what, sucker? We got a couple more notes on this keyboard.
I can't explain what drove me down the path between the trees. I felt like I was haunting that place. I knew that I needed to be there. I knew that Eric needed me. It seemed to be enough it was in his journals. But for some reason, his mind revolved around Kestlebrook. All the answers were there, but as I read the papers, I couldn't figure out the question.
We got a full-blown organ now.
I like the inexplicable lamps.
Yeah.
on the-
Like, who put these here?
Yeah, it's cool. Adds to the mystery.
Yeah. Bye, Andi.
Eric's journal
See ya.
entry for the Raphaelites outlined a sect of traveling monks who began their orders sometime in the latter half of the 16th century. Founder Tranquillo Balbi claimed that he had seen a figure step from a painting, don clothing, and disappear into a crowd. From that moment on, he devoted his life to trying to find these creatures and banish them from the world. Not long after founding this group, Balbi was killed by the Italian state. His last words are quoted in several heretical texts on art from the time period. Fire is the only truth. Fire shows us another world.
Okay.
Alright. Kind of hoping that the payoff for this is you like just find a like company picnic that didn't clean up properly. And you're just like, oh, the real tragedy is human waste.
Littering.
A few nights before you left, he told me
Save
that he
the
felt like an
forest.
anchor. He said that he felt like he was dragging me down. I didn't know what he meant, and all these years later, I still don't quite understand. I think I got close to figuring out that night when I walked through the valley. I felt what he said. He was dragging me towards some dark center of the world. I couldn't stop. Sometimes I thought I could see him standing out there among the trees. When I tried to make out his shape, it was like I was peering into some vast, abyssal shelf.
That's not good. It's not the foundation for a healthy relationship.
I think you guys might need to go into counseling.
Yeah, my boyfriend feels like he's pulling me into a dark abyss every time I look at him. The counselor just up and leaves.
It's like, oh, you guys go to Applebee's regularly then.
Now we have the hum and the whooshing again. I like that nice organ music.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I'm digging the simplistic sound design. It's working really well for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Are you asking me if I think Kestlebrook is haunted? No. At least not in the way that you mean when you ask me that. It's just that someone has been there, and they've planted a seed. That seed will grow, and that seed is growing. And the fruit will ruin us all.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like it here anymore.
What is that?
An obelisk
Okay.
with the creepy red.
I thought it was like just a giant phallic symbol in the distance, honestly.
I mean, yes, that too.
And then it turned out to be not a giant dick. It turned out to be a glowy, cool thing.
I've been given to understand that the town of Kestlebrook had a hell of a time getting started. Stillbirths plagued both the settlers and their work animals. The cultivated fields would spontaneously catch fire. Packs of wild dogs roam the streets in winter. The historical records suggest that they were driven out of the hills by competing predators, but it does not speculate on what those predators could have been. I wonder who or what changed its mind and allowed these people to catch hold and prosper, like a weed on a cliff.
There's certainly nobody here now.
It's not even animals.
No.
There's absolutely no life.
Yeah, like a lot of those trees back there were dead.
Like, other than the fireflies,
Yeah.
There's nothing. And it doesn't feel like a restriction. Like, it feels like there's not supposed to be anything. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's a restriction thing. It feels like, no, there is a conscious choice not to put any life around here.
Like the woods are haunted. Or something.
Yeah. Who has that tuba in the distance? Alright, fess up. Who's blowing that single note on that tuba out in the woods? I really like the red glow coming off the rocks.
It's really creepy.
It's really cool.
The flashing lights probably start very shortly. So if you have a problem with flashing lights, you should probably go away from the stream now.
Or just tab out
Yeah.
if you don't want to see it, and we can mention when they're done.
Yep. It's very close. I don't want to not warn for it in time, so. I don't know what that noise that's so weird and neat.
Eric's notebooks are full of Marginalia. Notes on top of notes to explain how a figurehead was toppled, or to cross-reference a medallion that tore apart a family of French aristocrats. The last few entries are sketches of stones or altars. Numbers pepper their faces. Their surfaces are plotting grids that stretch out beyond them, accounting for the ground and the earth between them. Little points of significance in the absence between things.
You doing okay, Kelsey?
Yeah, it's just creepy. Okay, the flashing lights are up there.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Man, Burning Man time.
I don't know.
This doesn't make any sense.
Jesus.
I felt machinery creaking to life. I screamed for him. Everything went dead silent, but I could hear him whispering to me. I can't. I don't. It wasn't like him. The silence became a dull hum and I fell towards the stones. I think I was screaming, but I couldn't hear myself. I'm screaming and no one can hear me. But Eric is whispering and telling me that everything will be okay. And I can hear this horrible gear tick, tick, ticking over me again. I looked down and I couldn't see my hands, my feet, just this terrible nothing in a precipice that I couldn't see over. I pulled myself up, pushed against the edge, and I heard it speak out from the storm. I was nothing, it was everything. And with my last bit of strength, I spun away from the voice and the light, and I hoped that I would die.
Oh my god, I love this.
Yep. Oh god, this music is so great.
It's really, really good.
And now we're just following these weird pipes? Or lights?
They look like roots.
Yeah.
Like, that's instantly what I think of. Like, they look like
Oh my god.
tree roots.
Yeah.
This music is really cyberpunky.
I know. It's great.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. I can...
Oh, this is really great.
Yeah, I can move very, very slowly. Like...
Yeah, no, I can. You can tell. And there's just like that figure.
Yep.
At least it looks like a figure. Oh, Chips, see the fact they're so red, I kept thinking of them as veins. Yeah,
Oh.
veins is a really good thing too.
Yeah.
Hey! Hey, what's going on? You right over there? Buddy?
No, that's the entire story. I promise that's all. When the sun broke over the hollow, I woke up and scrambled back to the road, back into the town, and back to the train. I lost Eric's journals. I think I left him there and that he was glad I did. I don't think there was malice in it. He was caught up in something he didn't understand. No, they never found a body. Nothing like that. No, I haven't been back. No, I won't tell you. Just please don't go there.
That was Marginalia. That's so creepy at the end.
That was really cool.
It reminds me, that,
I feel like I kind of ruined that moment at the end by yelling at the figure in the
okay.
distance.
It's
Sorry
okay.
about that. Didn't realize that was the ending.
It's alright. Neither did I when I played it, so I just wanted to let you go. But, like, that's so startling. Like, it just brings, like, because you forget almost that he's telling the story from later. So he, like, censored whatever happened there. And
Yeah, it's really cool.
it reminded me of that, the fault story with the holes for the people.
Oh, the Junji Ito.
Yes.
Emihara fault.
Yeah, and I thought that that's what was going to happen to me right there.
Oh, sorry, Emigara fault.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Definitely look like that hole was made for you.
Yeah, exactly. Or alternatively, that like Eric was trapped in that pyramid thing.
Yeah.
I really like that game a lot because of how it does what it's doing and makes you really creeped out without ever using a jump scare.
Yeah, no, it's just pure atmosphere. I really like it.
Yeah. And like things about the stuff burning, and there's so much symbolism in there that I definitely like. I played it twice, and I'll probably play it again to get everything. But
I really like games that and especially horror games that don't answer questions.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
because like the best thing about horror stories is stuff that leaves you wondering, right?
Right, exactly.
So,
and like anything that I could fill in or you could fill in, we're both gonna have different like interpretations, I guess. So, and the imagination is is like your worst enemy, fear-wise. So. Yeah, so that was Marginalia. Thank you for joining me, Andi. This was ScreamFriends.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Where can we find...
That was a really cool game. Thanks for showing me that.
Oh, of course. Oh, and you can buy this on itch.io. I'll put the link in the chat. And I'll also put my link to the review of the game in chat.
And other stuff by Cameron Cunzelman is heylookatmygames.com, which is a really good URL.
So here's the link to the game. Boop. Andi, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find my stuff at twitch.tv/AndyClaire. That's Andy with an I. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/CaptainTrashLP, and Captain Trash is also my Twitter account. Just send me a follower request and I'll probably just let you follow me.
Woo.
It's on private because of all the craziness on Twitter.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing private a couple times. I haven't done it yet, but...
It's weird. It makes me feel weirdly cozy.
Yeah.
It's a very hard feeling to explain.
No, I understand that. I get
But
that.
yeah. But yeah, this Saturday actually on my channel, the currently planned is the next session, or at least like the plan is for do the next session of our Monster Hearts campaign.
Awesome.
Which has a bunch of people from the chat. It has Detective Moose, Detmos, Rose, who's Honey Boy, Delilah runs it, Vorpalfem from the chat, and Soltron is also in it, as well as myself. We don't have a set time yet, but hey, check that out. It's really fun.
Do it. I'm Kelsey.
That's all my stuff.
You can find me on the internet at kelseyr713.rocks. That will get you links to all my stuff that I do, including my Twitter and nerdybutflirty.com, which is where I write my video game and movie reviews. You can find StreamFriends on StreamFriends.tv for YouTube archives, and you can, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can find us at twitch.tv/StreamFriends. We also have a Tumblr, which is streamfriends.tumblr.com, and a wiki, which is jokes.biz. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with the final night of ScreamFriends. And in November, who knows? I don't know what we're going to do.
We're gonna do Thankful Friends.
Yeah, we're going to do Thankful Friends.
We're gonna be thankful for something every day of the month.
Yes.
And stream games about pilgrims.
If you could find me
Get ready.
30 games about pilgrims.
Is that a challenge?
Yes.
I will make 30 games about pilgrims. I will make 30 awful RPG Maker games.
Oh, God. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
Peace out.